Anyone can have a good idea, but the difference between those who have an idea and those who have a successful company is in the execution. These women figured out how they could transform a concept into a thriving company in New York City. And it all started with her big idea. Sisters Tish and Snooky Belomo always stood out when they were lounging in clubs during the height of the punk scene in New York City. The dynamic duo took their unique and colorful style and turned it into a brand that has lasted decades. Manic Panic still stands out in countries across the globe.
I'm Snooky Belomo, and I'm the co-founder of Manic Panic, NYC. Manic Panic is a company, a brand that my sister and I started way back in 1977 in the early days of punk rock in the East Village that has become a global brand known for bright hair colors and cosmetics. We have a whole line of cosmetics, all kinds of lipsticks, nothing too natural. Eye
pencils, powders,
glosses, lots and lots of lashes. Our products are sold all over the world. It's just amazing. It's gone from St. Mark's Place to just everywhere, Japan and Australia and Europe and UK and South America. It's unbelievable. It's our dream come true.
This is Canada?
This is Canada, yeah.
That's Canada? Okay.
And this is all for New Zealand.
I love the fact that we're in New Zealand.
Right?
Yeah. Tish and I were both born in Manhattan, then we moved to Queens, and we always had sort of an entrepreneurial gene in us that we inherited from our father. Even though we didn't grow up with him, we got that entrepreneurial spirit. I had graduated from NYU with a degree in English. That didn't get me very far. I didn't know how to type, so we were living in the Bronx with our mother, who raised us by herself, and we started going downtown to the clubs in the 70s, to Max's Kansas City and later on to CBGB. And we just loved the club scene and the club life and taking the subway down from the Bronx, the last stop on the 1 train all the way downtown. We got a taste of showbiz and pizzazz and sparkle and downtown people. So we started singing in different bands. We got into a show at this theater called the Bowery Lane Theater, which was across from CBGB. We ended up in Blondie, being her backup singers for a while. People always loved our look. We had a look that nobody else wore in hair, makeup, clothing. And people were always asking us where they could buy it. And we thought, well, let's open a store as a sideline to our singing career and see if we can sell our look and sell what we love. So we opened this little store on St. Mark's, and it was the first punk store in America. And we had no idea what we were doing. We had no business training. We just figured it out, and we're still figuring it out as we go along.
It was just amazing. The whole scene down there was so cool and was so inexpensive to rent. It was also a bit dangerous, but we really didn't care.
We were trying to think of a name for our original store and our brand, and our mother was working in a mental hospital at the time. She was an art therapist. Her patients would go into manic panics, and she said, well, why don't you call it Manic Panic? And it was just the perfect name for our store, our brand. It's catchy, and it's her legacy. Those are all the colors he used?
Divine Wine, Pussycat Pink, Smoke Screen.
That's very cool, the way they did that.
So many of our products in the early days were inspired by the Bowery and the East Village and the punk scene, and also the glitter glam scene, which was pre-punk. And it was like sort of trashy rock and roll. That's what we based our brand on. We just opened and we're selling stuff we loved, stuff we made, stuff we found. Debbie Harry took us to this great shoe store all the way downtown on Reed Street, and it had this basement full of stiletto shoes. So we bought up all their unused vintage stilettos, and we were selling those, and we just would sell whatever we loved. And one of the things we ended up specializing in was beauty products, because nobody had beauty products like we liked. We had started going over to England and sometimes find these really cool old cosmetics from the 50s and 60s in these old pharmacies. We'd go into drugstores and say, do you have any old cosmetics? And we found lipstick colors that you couldn't get anymore. And we started selling those. And then we found contract manufacturers to make makeup to our specifications, our name on them. And that was the launch of our cosmetics line. And we became known for those kind of cosmetics and the hair color because no one else had it. And we filled this niche market that we didn't even know that's what we were doing, but we learned later that that's what we did. I love working in New York City. It's the center of the universe as far as I'm concerned. It's just the coolest city in the world. It gives you such energy to be in New York City and such inspiration. It's like no other place on earth. We're expanding into the professional market more. We launched our line of hair color for professional stylists, and we're working on add-on products, shampoos, conditioners. I think the elements of Manic Panic that are distinctly New York are Tish and me. It's our spirit, and it's the spirit of New York, and it's really shaped who we are and what our business is. It's just amazing. We keep on going and we keep on growing. We're like New York City roaches. You can't get rid of us. You can't stomp us out. We keep coming back.